Alright, y'all, it's the moment you've all been waiting for, the ultimate barn operation in Schedule 1. This is a 2-product facility. It makes both the highest value cocaine and the highest value meth in the game right now. Let's get into it. Alright, so we got the grow operation here. This is growing the coca leaves. We got 16 pots. We got the storage for the botanist in the back. We got the 2 cauldrons here in use. This extra one is just for me. We got the gasoline shelves in the back for the cauldrons. We got 2 ovens here. This third one's just for me. So these 2 ovens are making the raw coke into these beautiful snowballs. Then we got the mixing machines where the magic happens. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side with the storage right behind it for those specific machines. Then we got another 4 on this side with the storage behind it for those specific machines as well. Basically, the coca leaves get processed in the cauldron, go into the ovens, come out of the ovens, and go into this first mixing machine. It makes its way along the path here through all the mixing machines, comes around this way, goes to this mixing machine, then finishes up, the last ingredient being mega bean. Then from this mixing machine, it goes to this shelf. A handler takes it from this shelf and brings it over here to the packaging machine where they're putting it into jars right now for me. Obviously, I also have a brick press, so I'm just not using it right now. So that is the cocaine side. Now, the meth. So you have 2 chemistry stations here and you have 2 ovens. So one chemist will cook here, put it in this oven, and one chemist will cook here and put it in this oven. You have all of the ingredients for the meth chemistry stations right here on both of these racks. So you have a handler that is taking it from these racks and putting it into the chemistry stations. You have one large rack behind the packaging station with jars, and this one on here is just on the side for me for my baggies whenever I want to do some baggies. So the highest value products in the game that we're making here are, we're making Miracle Mint, has a suggested price of $735. And the asking price you can set is $999. That means that you will get minimum $1,000 from every single customer in the game, even if their budget is not that high. Because when they want to buy something, they're required to buy at least one. So they're always going to offer at least $1,000. And most of the time you're getting $1,100 to $1,200 for just one of these snowballs. The other meth product that we can also make here in this dual factory is called California Balls. It has a suggested price of $343, and we're listing it at 1.6 times that value. So the asking price is $547. This can easily go for $700, $750 for just one. Again, these are the highest value mixes for meth and coke in the whole entire game. Now remember, this is an 8-mix recipe, and the magic here is that meth and coke both use the same exact ingredients. So you see how we have meth here? These are meth crystals. They'll go and be processed, then they'll be put here. But oh, look at that. This machine is currently processing coke. So you can have meth and coke going on essentially at the same time, because once this coke is done, it'll go here. And it won't go here until, oh, that meth is done. So now this meth is going to go here. Oh, there's meth in here. Okay, that meth is going to keep going. So basically, once a product type enters, it continues along the chain until it comes out as a final product. And it's okay that you have meth here and coke here and meth here, because the chemists that are handling these mixing machines will keep moving the product. So once this coke moves here, this meth is already waiting to go in. Same thing here. This meth is going to get done, and then it's going to move on to here. So you see that chemist took that coke, and now he's putting it there. And then another chemist will come and start that machine. Oh, it's Matthew. Matthew's doing double duty right now. Good for him. So he's going to start that. So then you're going to basically have the product go through its entire assembly process here, and there's no mix-up, and there's no issues. So that is how we produce beautiful jars of Miracle Mint, which is a premium cocaine, and California Balls, which is right now a standard meth, but it's the highest value meth and the highest value coke in the game right now. So, important thing to note, as I said, it's a 8 mixing process, right? So you have 4 shelves here with ingredients, and you have 4 shelves here with ingredients. And the reason you need these is because it's a lot easier to just restock these shelves that are grouped together on both sides and then have a handler restock everything that's right next to the mixing machines. It also helps you with your inventory management. So once you see some shortages here, you know you need to resupply. It's way easier to see through these shelves than it is through all these shelves with everything all around it. It also makes sure that your production never stops. Even though this shelf may be empty, most likely you still have product on this shelf because the handler is just taking it from this shelf and putting it there. So the moment this gets empty, so there we go, kook is empty on this shelf, but I still got a bunch of kook on this shelf. So that means production will always keep going. Production will never stop. So all I have to do now is order some more kook and refill this shelf, and that is good to go. Same thing for all the other ingredients. It's all just going to keep getting refilled here, and then this is going to stock your main shelves next to each mixing machine. Same thing on this side. So that makes this operation run extremely easily, efficiently, and only thing I have to do is restock those 8 shelves, put some gasoline from these shelves into the cauldrons, and that's pretty much it. Sometimes I come over here, bag up some stuff myself if I want to sell baggies. So this makes meth and coke be produced all at the same time. And the reason I'm doing both at the same time is because meth cooks faster and is made faster. So if your coke runs out, you still have some meth to sell. I'm also going to be primarily giving the meth to the dealers so they can sell it. And I'm going to be selling all the coke myself because I just get more money out of it. So now let's go through how to set all this up. And here is a shopping list for everything you're going to need to set up this facility. So first with the pots. These are the moisture retaining pots, the middle level, because they are better than the yellow ones. And then we got the full spectrum lights, so it's the best lights. So the reason I staggered it a little bit like this is so they have a walkway. I was noticing that the botanist was getting stuck, so this kind of makes it so they don't get stuck. I know it doesn't look the best, but who cares? It works great, and I have 16 pots working here in this tight little corner. So basically just follow this pattern. As I said, we have 16, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we have 3 shelves on the wall here with supplies. So all of the botanists are going to grab from this shelf. And you want to basically have even amount of seeds and even amount of fertilizer. You can just have a good amount of soil, but soil runs out a lot slower, so you don't need that much. And then these are just extra. So this is just basically me going to be restocking the shelves for the botanist to grab from. So it's just more seeds and more fertilizer. You can set up a handler to keep moving product from these shelves onto here, but this stuff doesn't run out that quickly, so I don't mind doing it myself. Alright, now moving on to the cauldrons. Then you're going to have 2 gasoline racks behind the cauldrons. Put 2 of them here like this, right next to each other, and this doesn't need a gap. They're able to get right through. As you saw, he just walked right through. And then you're going to have 2 lab ovens right in front of your cauldrons. Like this, 1, 2. This one, like I said, is just extra. I'm going to actually move this one over here so it's not in the way. So now we have a little bit more space to walk around. And then you're going to have your mixing machine. So basically you want to have a little bit of gap here between this pole and the first mixing machine. And you want to put them so you can fit mixing machine, 2 shelves, and then the mixing machine. Just like this, back to back. It gives them plenty of space to walk on both sides, so no one gets stuck, and you can walk along with them as they're working. So you have 4 on one side and 4 on the other. And you have some beds, and then you have the 4 storage racks like I mentioned here. And then you have the 2 chemistry stations and 2 lab ovens here. Also the beds. So right now we have 3 beds here. This one is my bed. And then we have the rest of the beds upstairs. You can make this a little bit better. I think you can fit like 1 or 2 more beds up here, and then you just have 1 on the bottom. I'll probably do that a little bit later, but I don't really care about that right now. Alright, so this build needs 4 chemists. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 handlers. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 2 botanists. 1 and 2. Let's go through everyone's jobs and how to set them up. So first, the botanist. Press 9 and then E. So you give them a bed, obviously, and you're going to give them the large storage rack, which has your supplies. Then you're going to assign the pots. So you click on pots and drying racks, and then you're going to shift click on every single pot, 8 of them. So that's why these are all highlighted, because I shift clicked them all, and then you just hit enter, and then those will all be assigned. Same thing with the other botanist. Go to them, press E, the bed, that same large storage rack that had the supplies, and then the other 8 pots. So you hold shift and then you click on each one, and that's why these 8 are highlighted. So there's your 2 botanists done. Now you got to set up your pots. So you're going to hold shift and then click on every single pot. 16 pots we have, so click on every single one. Alright, so now see how it says manage 16 pots, and then you're going to press E. So you're going to set the seed as coca, you're going to set fertilizer as additive, and then you're going to send the destination. Right now I have it mixed because I have 2 different cauldrons. So I have 8 pots going to 1 cauldron. That's why 8 of them have arrows there. And then the other 8, the ones in the front here, going to the first cauldron. The 8 on the kind of on the left here are going into the second cauldron in the back. Now to set up your cauldrons. So you're going to have to manually put in gasoline into the cauldrons. You can just pop in a 20 piece right here and it'll just slowly get used. So it's not really that big of a deal to do it yourself. To set up your cauldron, press 9 and then E. And then destination. Destination is this lab oven for the first cauldron. Second cauldron, same thing. Destination is this lab oven. Alright, so your cauldrons are done. Then your lab ovens. So you're going to hit shift, click, press E to manage, and they're all going to go into the first mixing station. This is the first ingredient for your 8 mix recipe. They're all going into there. So all of the coke that gets processed from the ovens will go right into the first mixing machine. Now to set up your mixing machines. So you're going to press E on the first one. And your destination is going to be the second one. E on the second one. Destination is the third one. Then the same thing. You go through this, set all the destinations to the next one. This one is going to go to this one. So it kind of loops around. And same thing. So you're going to keep connecting them all, connecting them all, connecting them all. The last mixing machine is going to go, and so you already see the arrow. It's going to go into this large storage rack right here. And you want to set the threshold for all your mixing machines to be 1. So to set up your chemistry stations, you're going to have to set a recipe. So liquid meth, the destination is going to be the lab oven for the first one. Alright, so that's done. This chemistry station. Set a recipe as liquid meth, destination is this lab oven. Alright, so that's it. Now you're going to shift click on both your ovens here, hit E, and set them to be the first mixing machine over here. Not this one, because this is, remember, this is the end. This is the final ingredient for both mixes. Has to go to this first one. And then you also want to make sure that your packaging machine has a destination. So I have it as a large storage rack, which is right there. So all the finished jars go there. So now let's set up our chemists. So you go to your first chemist. Set up a bed. And this is where you can kind of do it however you want. And I'll show you how I did it. But there's multiple different ways to do it. So this chemist is going to handle this chemistry station, this lab oven, and 2 of the mixing machines. Now remember, there's 8 mixing machines and there's 4 chemists. So that means each chemist is going to get 2 mixing machines and 2 other things to do. So this one has chemistry, oven, and 2 mixing machines. Let's look at another chemist. This one has cauldron. So you're going to need a cauldron, the lab oven, and then 2 mixing machines. So that's why they're all highlighted, because those are assigned. Let's look at another chemist. Daniel Robinson. What's he got? He's got the other cauldron, the other lab oven, and another 2 mixing machines on this side. Then the final chemist. Let's see what he's doing. He's doing this chemistry station, this lab oven, and the first and the second mixing machines. So now all the chemists are set up. So that means whatever gets made first and is ready from these ovens, whether it's meth or coke, whatever goes in here first will just start being processed. And it'll go all the way down the line, all the way down through 8 mixing machines until it ends up on this rack, ready to be packaged. Now let's do the handlers. Handlers are a little complicated, but don't worry, it's not that bad. So this handler, I have him on the brick press. Each handler can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different routes. So this handler is doing large storage racks directly into the mixing machine. Now remember, there's 8 of these large storage racks right in the middle here. So he's taking these batteries from this rack and putting them into this mixing machine. So you're going to set up your handler to basically take 1 ingredient from the storage rack, put it in this one machine. 1 ingredient from this rack, put in this machine. Then he's going to take paracetamol from this rack, put in this machine. You need to set up the routes in that way so then they're only taking the material from these central storage racks and putting them in each specific mixing machine one by one. So let's see what else he's doing. He's also doing the chemistry station restocking. So the chemistry stations over here need their ingredients to make the meth. So he's taking the ingredients from this rack, storage rack, and he's putting it into that chemistry station. And then his second route is taking the ingredients from this storage rack and putting them into this chemistry station. Now this handler, he's doing the packaging machine. So he is packaging the product into jars or whatever we have loaded here, either baggies or jars. He also has a bunch of routes. So he is going and taking materials from these jars and he's loading them into this packaging machine from the back storage. And he is also taking stuff from a large storage rack and putting it into another large storage rack. So this is where he is restocking one of the middle shelves. So if we click on this, you'll see that he's taking the gasoline from this rack, which we are restocking ourselves, and he's putting it into this rack right here. So he is resupplying the main storage rack that supplies the mixing machines. So this handler doesn't have any stations, but they're just moving stuff along different racks. So they have a bunch of large storage racks going to large storage racks. So this handler has 5 routes of basically just restocking the shelves behind each mixing machine. So this one, he is taking the kook and putting it onto the kook rack right here. So we are again restocking these ourselves, and then the handler comes and restocks the main shelves that are supplying the mixing machines. So that person has 5 routes. Remember, there's 8 mixing machines. That means there's 8 shelves in the middle here, and then there's 4 on this side and 4 on this side. So these 4 resupply the 4 behind these machines, and these 4 resupply the 4 behind these machines. So 5 of those routes are taking 1, 2, 3, 4, resupplying 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 more on this side, 1 and 1. So that's the 5 routes for that handler. Let's see what the last handler is doing. This one is doing a bunch of taking ingredients from the central racks and putting them into the mixing machines. So all of these ingredients need to be put into each individual mixing machine. So this is the first one, taking the oil, putting it on this mixing machine. That's the first route. Second route, kook onto this mixing machine. Third route, paracetamol onto this mixing machine, and so on and so forth. The fourth route is gasoline on here, and the fifth route is kook onto here. So with this facility and getting 10 to 15 sales myself every night, my dealers will be making, I have 3 dealers right now, Benji, Molly, and Brad are my 3 dealers. They're going to be making at least 5,000 to 6,000 each, so that's another 15,000 to 18,000. So this facility basically makes anywhere from 30,000 to 50,000 a day. And this setup makes it really easy because all I have to do is order some deliveries. So I know what's going on this rack. Everything looks to be running out, so go to deliveries. So each truck can hold 320. So all you need to do is grab 80 of each of your 4 supplies that are going to go on this shelf, and you place your order. And then you go to the other mart and you get 80 of the other supplies, and boom. So that'll come, we'll load it up, probably do that 1 more time each, and then you'll be fully stocked up on all your shelves. And here is the barn at night with all the beautiful lights. I went with the antique look because obviously it's a barn. It looks better than the modern look. We got them in the corners here. We got one there. Really gives it a nice look and glow at night. We got them all on the pillars along the wall here. We got them on these main pillars here, right in between the little triangle. We got this one that we ended up sticking on the bottom of that flooring because you can't put it on this beam right here. So it's right there. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to another beautiful day in the barn operation here. You guys are all very valued employees, working hard, making that product so we can make a lot of money. Keep doing what you're doing. All the safety standards are in place. If you have any complaints, don't tell me about them. All right, have a great day, team. Keep working hard. What you doing? You're not working? Get to work, Thomas. Thomas. Get to work, Thomas. So that is the dual operation meth and coke barn. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I hope you guys liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.